So fall's just around the corner and you may think you'd like to come up with some new fall designs. Well, I like these old-fashioned pickup trucks and I made this one using Cricut Design Space. And I'm going to show you how you can make it for yourself. So let's get started. I'm going to move my picture out. Now I have two monitors, so I can look over and, no, forget that. Stupid. With fall just around the corner, you may want to make some new fall designs. Well, I like these old-fashioned pickup trucks, so I made this one the other night, and I'm going to show you how you can recreate it or come up with your own great idea. So let's get started. So first of all, let's go on to Cricut Design Space, and you want to open up a new project. And the first thing I want to try to make is the truck itself. So let's go into images and look for a truck. Now, one thing I will say about Cricut Design Space is probably the simpler the description you use, you're going to find objects. Cricut does name different things the same, like leaves. You're going to find lots of leaves. But I'm just going to go ahead and use pickup truck and just do a search and see what I find. And so, quite clearly I'm getting pickup trucks. I got 479 different pickup trucks, which is pretty good. And I have made this. Now this one is probably more to what I should have used, but instead I used this one. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one again. But I really like this truck to be facing the other direction. So I can use my flip and I can flip it horizontally and it's going to be facing in the other direction. But I would like this truck to have black tires, and then I'm going to do a pattern fill on the body of the truck. And also to let you know, this is going to be a print that cut design when I'm done. If you could make it as a cut design just by not putting any of the pattern fills in that I'm going to show you, and leave it as a cut design. But this one is going to be a print then cut. So let me show you how to get rid of these wheels. You have contour, which is a really great thing, which can in a sense add or remove things that you don't need to use. But first I'm going to duplicate it. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to contour out the body of this truck so I can hide all contours, but I do want the tires, which are round. So I'm going to select these two. And then I also do not want that. So I think if you can see, that looks pretty good to what I'm looking for. And yay, there are my tires right there. So I'm going to change this to black. So you just click on your little square next to your operation and you should be able to do that. Now on the body of the truck, I don't need those red tires. So I'm going to contour those out. And I need to just hit the round tires and then they're removed. You can click on things here in this, also in the picture, or you can click on the side. But if you're contouring it out, 30 or 40 different objects, it can take a while to try to figure out what is what. So sometimes it does make it a little easier to just go in a picture of the image and click on that to use your contour function. And here we go. Now I've got my tires black and my truck is red. But I want to go ahead and use a pattern fill on this because I'd like to make the truck look a little weathered. If you don't want to do a pattern fill, then you're just going to leave your truck as it is, or you can change the color of it. But I want to do a pattern fill. So I can't do a pattern fill when the operation is a basic cut. I do need to change it to a print then cut, and it doesn't look any different now, but I am going to do a pattern fill, and I'm going to click on this color here and I will have an option to add color or a pattern. And Cricut has a lot of patterns already in here, and you can also upload your own patterns into pattern fill. And I have uploaded some. And I've got a video, I'll put a link to the bottom on how to do pattern uploads. I'm going to just give you one word of caution. When you're searching for something, I always look for free, and in this case, I like free red plaid backgrounds, because unless you want to pay for somebody's work, you can pay for their upload. I always look for the free ones. Anyway, so I'm looking for something brown. So I do have this filter and it's giving me a bunch of different kind of brown type patterns, but I like this one. So I'm going to fill it in, and I kind of like the look of that. But if I didn't, this is why I like pattern fill. You can edit your pattern and you can make your images, your pattern bigger or smaller. But in this case, I thought it was just fine. So I'm going to leave it as is. Then the last thing I want to do on this truck is I love the offset feature in Cricut Design Space. I want to give it a little black border. I don't know if you can see right there's a kind of a faint blue line. If I just say apply, that's what I'm going to get right now. But that's 1/4 of an inch border. That's way too much. So I'm going to try to make this smaller. Now, yes, you can actually type in there, and I should probably do that, but I'm stubborn. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to apply that. I've had some problems trying to type the size in that box. Anyway, I happen to like this outline I have. Whoops, and I forget to do that. I'm going to select these two and I want to group them. So now that they're grouped, that means they're going to stay together. I can move them around. And I just messed up on the size, so hopefully I haven't messed it up too bad. And that's one of the things I suggest. I don't know why. Let's group it again. All right. That'll work. Okay. So now I've got my truck and I want to group it so I can move it and it stays in the same size and proportion. And I did exactly what I caution everybody not to do. So the next thing I probably want to do is I want to put the pumpkin in the back. So I'm going to go into my images and I am going to select pumpkin. And that's probably going to give me a lot of different selections. And again, when you're making stuff like this, you can put in all kinds of different pumpkins that you think might work or that you like better than the ones I've picked. And I actually ended up picking up, no, that wasn't it. I beg your pardon. Let's go look some more. This one, I apologize, this pumpkin. So one of the things I'm going to tell you you can do too is you can get this Cricut assign number for each image if you click on the information, and you can make a note of it. Although now sometimes you really don't have to do that because you can open up Design Space in 2 screens or 3 screens, and you can copy and paste from one project to another project. Pretty cool. Anyway, I want that one, so I'm going to insert that one. But what I'd really like is I'd like this little pumpkin to be, this little stem to be green. So I'm going to use my little eyeball and I'm going to make my pumpkin go away. I want to click on this and I want to change my color to green. There we go. I like that. And I'm not quite sure why that happened. So that's kind of, I'm not sure. Let's undo this because I don't want that. All right, let me just get rid of that. I only want, there we go. So in other words, to not change my whole pumpkin green, I just click on the brown stem, which I want to turn green. There we go. Now when I undo my pumpkin, I have a green stem. And the other thing I want to do with my pumpkin again is I want to put an offset around it. I want to use that small border. And let's put 0.029. There we go. And apply. And I kind of like my lines that I get on here. So let's group that together so they stay the same size. So now I want to take my pumpkin. I can turn it a little bit, probably make it bigger. You see how I like the look of the pumpkin. You can rotate, kind of get it the way you want, and you're saying, but great. I want it bigger. Yeah, that'll probably work. It's in front of the truck. Well, you can do arrange, and I want to send that pumpkin to the back. So now I've got my pumpkin to the back. I think I'm good right there. So I'm going to click on both of these and I want to group it. And even at this point, if I wanted to, I could flatten it, and flatten it will then take this whole image and turn it into a print then cut. But let's undo a little bit. And if you're trying to remember, I really want to use that pumpkin, you can right click on that pumpkin, and here is your Cricut assign number, so you can find that pumpkin. So at this point, I want to flatten that. All right, now I want to find these leaves, and I'm going to tell you right now, this took a while to go through and find the leaves because I get 4,331 different leaves, but I did take the time because I was kind of looking for something, you know, like a laurel type leaf, and I found it. But to save you time, I am going to go ahead and type in the Cricut assign number, and you have to put it in exactly as they have it for you, capital letters and all. And I'm hoping that I've typed this right, and there they are. So this is the leaves that I like, so I'm going to insert that. Let's move our truck over. I'm going to rotate you. I kind of like you right there. I want to duplicate it, but I want that to flip. So I'm going to flip you that way. And actually, I can flip you vertically. And we're going to do that. I think I like that better with the stems kind of pointing in like that. And I think that'll work. So now I want to select all, and I'm just going to group these for right now because I may want to move these around a little bit, but at least it keeps them in one spot. So now let's go ahead and try to find this It's Fall and this little leaf right here. So what I did in this case was I searched for fall leaves. And I only got 6,880 results, but I started scrolling through, and if I remember right, I found what I wanted relatively quickly when I was scrolling. That was cute, but I tried it, I didn't like it. And again, put everything in there that you think you'd like to throw in. I thought, oh, that might be kind of a cute sign to put saying in there, but I don't really have any leaves falling. But I like this right here, It's Fall. So I'm going to insert that into my design, and I would really only like to keep this leaf and the words It's Fall. So what I can do at this point is, this is a cut, and I'm going to ungroup it, and I don't want those, so I can get rid of those. I do want that leaf, so I'm going to leave that right there. I don't really want those. I don't really want that. I don't know what this little dude is right up there, but I don't really want it. But I want to keep the It's Fall. Now, you could probably slice this out, but I'm going to contour it because I think it's easier. I don't want that leaf. So now I've got this leaf. I'm going to load a pattern up in that. I'm going to take my It's Fall, and I want to, let's ungroup, because again, like I mentioned before, I probably want to kind of rearrange this stuff. These might be a little bigger than I want, but take your time. You can rotate, adjust your size, put it the way you want, get your truck the way you want it. Right now, I think I like that. So I'm going to group that together, and I'm going to just do an eyeball to remove it for the time being. And this little guy, I am going to do another pattern fill. And I have to change it again to a print then cut. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do my pattern. And I know what pattern fill I want. I want this one. And this is one I have already unloaded. But if I wanted to look for it, I can also check it in orange. So when you load patterns up, you can click a color group to put it in. So when you come back to search for it, because maybe I haven't used that pattern for some time, you can maybe find it just by doing a color sort. So again, I can edit the pattern, and I can make it a little smaller or bigger. And again, I think maybe I do want it a little smaller. I like that. I think I like that. So let's bring our truck back. Let's take our leaf and we're going to spin it around. See if I like that. I think I do. Maybe it's a little big. Let's make it a little smaller. Okay. Again, let's try to move you down in there. Okay, I think I'm good with that. So I'm going to select all, and now I'm going to flatten it. So the whole little sign is a print then cut. At this point in time, it's the size of it is okay because unfortunately Cricut is really limited, in my opinion, on the size you can do a print then cut. So if I were to make this a whole lot bigger, you might go ahead and make it and you're going to get this project incompatible and you're going, oh my gosh, what did I do? Well, you didn't really do anything other than it's too big. If you're still not sure what you did wrong, you click on this little yellow warning triangle and it's going to tell you what the problem is. And it's telling me that the image is too large, and this is the limitation for print and cut size for Cricut. So let's make it a little smaller. And you can see now that my warning triangle is gone. So if I go to make it, then I have my print and cut design, which I can then print on my computer, and then I can cut it out if I want to cut it out. Now, on a print then cut, it's going to try to cut this stuff individually. So you may want to put a white square behind this. So if all you want is just the square, instead of it trying to cut all of this out individually. And some people kind of find that frustrating, but I find that, and you put a white square because white does not print. So your Cricut will just cut out a square, which you could put on some printable fabric and sew it on a cushion, or you could put it on a t-shirt transfer and put it on a t-shirt, or you could make it even smaller and you could cut it out and use it for a card. But I hope this has helped you to get inspired. I know this is probably a bit of a long video, but I appreciate you taking the time to watch it, and I hope this will help you designing in the future. So if you have questions, let me know. And again, thanks so much for watching.